Good morning. Good morning, you guys. Hi. Hi, cubies and newbies. I am Sunshine, and this is the ABCube method for solving Rubik's Cubes and other fun toys. Everything breaks down to two formulas. One to bring things to the top, one to move and the other one to move things around, and that's all you need to do for a Rubik's type cube. Scramble. Let's scramble. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. We're all in our places with bright. Hello. Someone said hi. Oh. I can't try to pronounce that username. I'm sorry. But hello. Thanks for the chat. Are you having a good day? It's Monday morning. Ready to get started with a new week. If one uses the calendar, it's easier not to use the calendar when you're retired. All right. What is my personal best for a 4x4? I have no idea. I am a cuber, but I am not typically a speed cuber. I went in the opposite direction. Instead of going for fast, I went for simplicity. So the 4x4 and every n by n cube can be solved with just formula A, just formula B. So I haven't actually timed myself on a 4x4 because the only timer that I have is actually the my Go cube that has its own timer in it. I don't actually have a timer. Probably hair everywhere. Sorry. Okay, I don't actually have a timer. But when I teach this method in real life or online, I can teach the 4x4, the 6x6, whatever, in between an hour and a half to 2 hours. So after I teach them, my students can then pick up any size cube and with confidence know that they can set it down solved because they've learned it. 12 seconds. My average for the 3x3 is about 1.5 minutes. According to GoCube, my fastest time is 1:21. But I don't speed. I don't speed frequently. I get my serotonin, dopamine bursts from teaching people rather than competing with them. Peanut butter. Yeah. Sure, put peanut butter on your cube. That'll be an oil. I'm so old that when we didn't have lube for the cube, when the cube started getting, every so often we would take the cube apart and wash it in water and dry it off. But then when you did that, when you got rid of the dust that actually helped it move, it would, after you washed it, it would be a little more clunky. And so this one is a 8. I do have up to 11 though. This is an 8. So after you got rid of the dust, it was kind of clunky. So you'd open it up by taking the blue and orange piece, and you'd open it up, and then you'd sprinkle baby powder in there, and then twist it till it stops clouding. And yeah, so that was how one cared for their cube before speed cubes were invented. Yeah, this is a 10 by 10. No, it's not a 10. You said, I looked up and I got confused. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is an 8. I have not unpacked all of my cubes yet from my relocation. So yeah, the big ones are in here. Yeah, I can get my 11 by if you want to see what an 11 looks like. I do have a 10. My 11, excuse me while I rummage. Oh, my 11 by is second hand. There you go. Big. There. Second hand. And so if you can see the colors, it's been someone re-stickered it, some the ones that were missing. So the yellow has two different yellow colors. The 3x3 cube. 3x3 cube, I'm about a minute and a half. So there's the 11 by. Here's the 10. This one's, there's the 9 and the 10. There we go. There's the 9 and the 10. I do have the larger cubes, but they take forever to do. My best on the 3x3 according to GoCube is a minute 21. But what I'm here to do is to show you how you can solve every one of these cubes the exact same way. So you don't have, so when I teach brand new non-cubers, people who oh, my brother can do it, but he tried to teach me, but my brain just doesn't work that way. It's like, okay, well, I can teach you. If you want to learn, I can teach you. And like I said, I between an hour and a half and 2 hours, I've taught them every Rubik's cube, every Rubik's type cube, because Formula A brings a piece to the top, and then Formula B moves 3 pieces around when you want it to, and and then from that's all you need to do, because everything else can be solved with just the Formula A and this the Formula B. Order of operations doesn't matter. But my order of operations is I do the corners first because every cube has the corners. So I teach every cube the exact same way. So I start with the corners, and when I'm done the corners, this one's complete, and these ones all have the faces, the colors for the faces all dictated by the corners. And then I solve the spaces that are on the next smallest cube. Which then means that the edges and the centers are done, and then this is solved, and then these ones you just have to, any other centers that remain, you finish off. Do I have mirror blocks? I do have mirror blocks. My favorite is the GAN. Let's see, that's not the mirror blocks, that's my ta-da! Here we go. I have a 5 mirror, 5x5 mirror, which somebody just 3D printed and then glued to a 5x5. So it's not professionally made. You can see the pieces in there. Yeah. So I have a mirror blocks. I have a 5x5. The mirror blocks are fun. I've got like 5 or 6 of them, and I can, if you do the same pattern on them, you can stick them together like puzzle pieces and build towers and things with it. So that's fun. But my GAN is my favorite because of the magnets. I got my first mirror cube thinking, oh, I can solve this in the dark, in bed while I'm waiting to fall asleep, kind of thing. But it was so hard to line up everything when you can't see what you're doing that I promptly failed at that. But the GAN cube has magnets, and so it latches into place, and so I can hold it and solve it by feel with that. So that's fun. I love that. Also, it's pretty. It's purple. I love purple. I have a purple cube. Purple cube, just shades of purple. All just different shades of purple. I also have the black and white one, which as seen on the Wednesday Addams TV show. Okay, thanks for joining me. Go have a great day. Have fun. All right, so that's it for show and tell, unless anybody has questions. Okay, put that back. Oh yeah, this one too. I thought this would be fun. It theoretically combines a 3x3 with the Rolly puzzle, where if you make a turn, then you can relocate, you can move the beads into different things, and the goal is to have to put it back again. And theoretically, I thought, oh, okay, so you have to set the pieces and then solve it as a 3x3, but no, you really don't. You can just go from just using just two sides at a time. You can get the cubes to think. The hardest part about this was that two of the cubes are close to the same color. So these ones, it was hard until the last step to differentiate them. They're actually two different colors. So I do have a ball cube, a ball toy. It's not as fun as I thought it would be. So that is that. All right, okay, so let's begin. Scramble the 2x2. All right. Let's work on the 3x3. I start with yellow, so I find a cute corner that has yellow on it, and I'm going to start by building around that. So I hold the cube in my hands, and I look at the front as if it's a spreadsheet with rows and columns, and then looking at the arrows of Formula A and Formula B, looking at the cube as looking at just the face of the cube. Those slight arrows represent the slices that I'm going to move. So for Formula A, it's one row and one column, specifically the bottom row and the right column. If I can also do the middle row and the middle column, and that will move the center around. You can do the entire first face with just Formula A if you want to, but you can't do it beyond the first face because it affects all 6 sides when you use it. So I only use it for corners and twisting the corners. So I found a cube. Here's a yellow cube, and because I selected it, I'm going to make the rest of the cube match it. So I look at the other corner here, look at the other corner that's facing me, and I'm going to make the right cube match the left cube. So for the yellow color. So I'm ignoring everything but the corners. I'm ignoring everything but the yellow. So I just want to know, is there a yellow somewhere on this corner? And if there is, Formula A will bring it to the top. If there isn't, then I look at the corner below it. And is there a yellow on one of those 3 corners? As long as there's a yellow on one of these 2 corners, Formula A will bring it to the top. If there is not, then I rotate the bottom row by quarter turns until there is. So as long as there's a yellow in one of these 2 places, Formula A is going to bring it to the top. So bottom row, right column, out, down, in, up, and there it is. When my yellow is on top, I slide the top row 1/4 turn to move that out of the way and protect it, and I'm going to then continue with my Formula A until yellow is on top on all of my 4 corners. So this does not have a yellow, this does not have a yellow. I rotate the bottom by quarter turns until the answer is yes, and there we go. Obviously, when you're just getting started, before you get into the algorithms or the formulas, you can just muscle as much into place as you can, and I could do that, but I'm going to pretend that I don't want to move that corner. So out, down, in, up. Yellow's on top, slide it out of the way, keep going. There's a yellow here or here, and Formula A will bring it to the top. All right. At that point in time, that's my first step. Yellow's on top on all four corners, then but the corners have other colors. So I look at the other two colors on each corner, and I see whether they match on the sides. Blue does not equal green, red does not equal orange, blue does not equal green, and red does not equal orange. So on this one, none of the sides match. Three things can happen at this point in time. Either all of the sides will match, none of them will match, or one of them will match. So let's see what happens on this one. Set that aside for a minute. Okay, this one has yellow, so this one does not, this one does not. So quarter turns until it does. Okay, so there's a yellow somewhere on these. Formula A, bottom row, right column, will bring the yellow to my top face to match this cube. Don't know how many times it's going to take, but it will get there 5 or before, because 6 on the cube goes back to your begin. Okay, so there's a yellow. Rotate the top to protect it. I'm not rotating the cube, just the top. And then there's a yellow somewhere. So formula A. I continue with formula A. And formula A, I keep going until my yellow has all four corners on top. Okay, yellow's on top on all four corners. Now I check the sides. There's 1, so blue does not equal red, green does not equal blue, but orange equals orange. So this one has one side that matches. This one had 0, this one has 1. This one, coincidentally, has all of the corners that match. So that is also, so either you have all of them that match, one of them that matches, or none of them that matches. If they all match, you set it aside and come until you get to the next step. If one of them matches, then you hold the cube so that your match faces away from you, as if it was headlights of a car that you're driving. But if you don't have a match, it doesn't matter which way you hold it to begin. You're going to do formula B, and then let's do formula B. Top row, outside columns. Slide up, slide up, slide down, slide down. Okay. That looks like I messed it up, but what I did is I moved 3 pieces around, and I already know how to bring the yellow back to the top, so let's go right back into formula A to bring my yellow back to the top. Okay. When it's on top, slide the top to protect it and keep going. Yellow's on top, slide it away to keep going. Okay, and so because none of the sides matched, after I do B and A, now one of the sides is going to match. And in this case, it's the green one. So if one matches, I hold it away, and I'm going to do the same thing again, just B and then A to bring the color back. B to move them around, A to bring the color back to the top. So slide up, slide down, and then formula A to bring the color back to the top. Slide just the top to protect it. Keep going. And because we're not rotating the cube, whatever our bottom looked like is going to continue looking like, which you don't really care for the first 4 corners, but if you already have, but for the second 4 corners you do. So here's my yellow on top, and the sides match. Do that to this one. Yellow's on top. One side matches, so it goes away. Formula B. Slide up, slide down, and then A to bring your color back to the top. Out, down, in, up. Slide to protect. Out, down, in, up. Out, down, in, up. Slide to protect. Out, down, in, up. And when your yellow's on top again, this time your sides match. They are correct to each other. Yay! Okay. No yellow here or here, but now there is. Formula A brings it to the top. Slide to protect. Continue with this corner. Rotate quarter turns until the answer is yes for a yellow. If there's yellow in one of these 2 spots. Out, down, in, up. Out, down, in, up. Out, down, in, up. Slide to protect. keep going. No yellow. There's a yellow. Okay, formula A brings it to the top. There we go. Okay, so either one side matches, none of them matches, or all of them match. If one side matches, face it away. If all of them matches, set it aside. So for no matches or one match, we do formula B. Slide up, slide down, and A to bring your color back to the top. Slide out, down, and up. Out, down, and up. Slide out, down, and up. Out, down, and up. And there's your first 4 corners are done. When you take your first 4 corners and you put them face down, and we're going to abandon them and work on the second 4 corners. Find the color that is in common to all 4 of the corners. If you don't know what color is opposite yellow, on standardized cubes like mine are, it's white. So we've solved the white face the exact same way we solved the yellow face, and in doing so, the yellow face is going to protect itself. We're going to abandon it because it will protect itself. So we bring the white to the top. Formula A will do that. Now it's very important, because I said that we're abandoning the yellow, is that we not look at the yellow until we're done bringing the whites to the top. Because if we do, we're like, oh no, I messed up. No, you didn't. You didn't mess up. So slide the top to protect it. Keep going. Again, as long as you don't rotate the cube and only rotate the slice that you want to move, then when you finish the step, the yellow will have reset itself, resolved itself. So there, white's on top, yellows are still happy. Okay, one side matches, so we're going to do formula B. Slide up, slide down, and again the yellows are still happy. Formula B only moves 3 pieces around, so whatever the bottom of the cube is not altered. Formula A, from this point forward, is always done in multiples of 6, so the bottom is not altered. So bringing the white back to the top, out, down, and up, out, down, and up, slide, out, down, and up, out, down, and up, slide, out, down, and up, out, down, and up, slide. Okay, and then the yellows are still happy, the whites are happy with each other, so you just rotate the top as needed until the top and bottom are correct, and boom, corners are done. And so for the corners just uses A and B. And so when I'm teaching, I teach the corners first. For the first hour is just corners. And it's like, great, now scramble it and try it again. Or now do it on this cube. Or now do it on this cube. Or good, can you do it on this cube? So they're completely comfortable with the corners before we move on. And then I say, okay, everything else is just going to be, except for the absolute center, everything else is just going to be formula B, and it's still going to be top row and 2 columns, just like you're doing. Top row is you move first up, second up, first down, second down. Still going to be up, up, down, down, with just 2 columns. But the difference, take your cube and go play with it, I will say. So if you see what happens when you move other pieces, if you use an outside, if your 2 columns are one outside column and one inside column, then what you're moving is going to be the edge pieces. And if you move 2 inner columns around, what you're moving is going to be the centers. But it's still going to be formula B, or its mirror, parallel. So this is going to move corners. This is going to move edges, and this is going to move centers around. So corners are done on these cubes. Do it on this one as well. No, actually just yellows. Let's do the white still. Okay. Did I not do this one? Okay. All right. Okay, so that's how you do corners. And talk to me about parodies. I love talking about parodies because they are a lie. They don't exist. That's what most people stumble over when you go from a 3x3 to a next step higher, or to anything else that's higher than a 3x3, is how to handle the parodies. And everyone treats the parodies as if it's a unique situation. But the thing is that a parody is where it looks like there's two pieces and only two pieces that need to move, and every algorithm or Formula B or any algorithm out there is going to that moves pieces around is going to move three or more. It doesn't just move two, except for the parody algorithm, which is just a mean algorithm. So if it looks like there's two and only two, it's because your cube is lying. Its parody is a lie. There's always three pieces, and if you only see two, the third piece that you can't see is the layer that touches the parody, the row or column, the slice of your cube that touches that parody, whether it's these two pieces or these two pieces or these two pieces, whatever. That row, one of those rows, is a quarter turn off. So if you turn that row 1/4 turn either direction, and then solve the edges, then you'll have three or more edges to solve, and you can solve those edges correctly without the parody. So you are dissolving the parody by a single quarter turn rather than fixing the parody with a long algorithm. That if you look at the algorithm and break it down as if it were an algebraic equation, you're going to see that you have a setup, you have a single quarter turn, and then you have the reverse of your setup. So the only actual change that you're doing on your cube is that single quarter turn. So that's why I do outside in. I do corners first because the parody will show up either as a corner parody or as an edge parody. So I do the corners then tell me where the edges go. And as soon as the parody shows up, I just quarter turn it, and the parody is gone. And so I just proceed, so I don't have to worry about handling the parody at the end when everything else looks like it's in the right place. It looks like it's in the right place, but if it had been actually in the right place, you wouldn't have a parody. So that feels like a good pausing place. Thank you guys for being with me today. If any of you are new, I am Sunshine. Hi, welcome. This is the ABCube method for solving Rubik's Cubes. You've just missed me going over corners, but I will I will work on edges tomorrow. So come back tomorrow, and I will, if you have questions, I love to chat. Chatting is more fun than monologuing. But teaching cubing is the absolute funnest thing in the world for me. So that's what I do. And it can all be broken down into just two formulas, 4 moves and 8 moves. And so you take a picture with your phone, you've got that with you all the time. That's the only cheat sheet you ever need. And it solves every size Rubik's Cube. So go have fun, have a great day, be nice to yourself. If you're not following me, that'd be great if you did. And in the meantime, I'll be back tomorrow. Go have fun. Bye, you guys.